self-care is such a huge part of being healthy. So, yeah, I've got quite an interesting story of what, the SAD diet, the standard American diet, is
Mm.
linked with disease. And that's because it's an inflammatory diet full of lots of processed food and lots of bad fats. So I've come along and designed a diet that's very easy to crowd all those bad foods out. So it makes it super easy. So I'm going to explain that with you today. And I'll talk about my journey a bit, about what I went through. Because, the way I was eating, I thought was healthy, but I was making a lot of mistakes. And yeah, it led me to have health problems. So, cancer is 1 in 3 on the planet today. So by paying attention and learning better, healthier ways to eat, you can actually, avoid that. So there's a lot of problems wrapped around food. So I think the biggest one is now in our busy lifestyles is we want convenience. So that's actually, even though, a lot of foods going into the house are convenient, they're not as healthy, they're more processed, and convenience is our problem. It's the way that we're thinking, I guess. So for me, a lot of stress around meals back when all this started in the beginning. Like I spoke yesterday, so I'll just quickly say that I had a very sick child for many years who's super healthy now. So that's just everything that we've done at home to help Drew get well. So he was born at 25 weeks, lost all of his large intestine, some of his small, and has had ongoing gut health problems and digestive problems. So that's why I'm here speaking to you today, because everything I've done for for Drew has helped myself and my family. So that's just what I teach, is what I've done to help Drew. So for us, he's like a canary in the mine. Okay, so what I found is whatever Drew was struggling with, eventually over time, if certain foods and things that are inflammatory or not very good for our gut or kill our good bacteria, eventually get us all. Some of us have stronger genetics if they don't have a health concern at a young age, and it might be in their 40s, 50s, or 60s before catching up with them. But so prevention is your best choice, and learning how to eat now. Basically an alkalizing, anti-inflammatory, high water diet, full of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, will serve you very well. So, and yeah, we're getting back to our mindset. We think, I did especially. So back then, yeah, I had 3 small children. I was chronically tired. I had been told I had depression by my doctor and prescribed antidepressants. So cooking was just adding to all that. Like, too much time-consuming foods was a problem for me. I wanted it quick, sharp, easy. It was cereal, breakfast cereals, toast, a little bit of fruit in there, but yeah, a lot of processed foods, a lot of bad fats, a lot of fast food. So yeah, I say now, when they call it in America, they say, let's go to the drive-through and get some food, some takeaway food. And I'm like, we should just call it the drive-by. So don't stop there, just keep driving is the philosophy now. A lot of that type of food was in my diet. So, and also too, now there's too many diets. It's very confusing out there. So I'm a nutritionist and a health coach. And although my nutrition course was awesome, it was the health coaching course that really got to me, because it was more of the psychology of eating. So yeah, that's where I needed the help. We all know what to eat and what to do, I think. We just don't know why we don't do it more. Yeah, I think a lot of it too is physiological. Like, if you understand acid alkaline, if you're acidic, you're drawn to more acidic foods. If you're more alkaline, you're drawn to more. And for me, you've been on the green key for a while. That's a green powder supplement food. And I know when people are acidic because they tell me they don't like the taste. And it's not too long after being on it, a month or two, they love it and they crave it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so actually once you swap over to this diet, it does take a little bit of time for your body to actually start craving those foods. But yeah, it happens. So it definitely happened to us because when we decided to make the changes, we had Drew, who was probably 3 or 4 years old. I was trying to see naturopaths and kinds of health professionals and got him on this perfect diet, but I thought it was just for him because of his health condition. So I was making separate meals. So that's another problem that people fall into, that trap, is trying to make different meals for every member of the family. So that's obviously going to cause you stress. He was not happy. He was, having temper tantrums. And my husband's smart. He's very smart. He said, whatever you feed Drew from now on, you feed all of us. So we went on the same diet.
Nice.
Which was like awesome. So I was a little slow, like a slow learner, but my naturopath at one point got really frustrated with me and was like, I don't understand what you don't get about this diet. This is healthy for everybody. Drew's the lucky one. He's never going to have cancer. He's going to be so healthy. Yeah. So luckily she finally got through to me. And that's when, we really made the changes for everybody. But I was in tears at first. I had like 2 huge boxes of groceries when we really decided all that processed food, all the numbers and colors and preservatives and all the stuff that was affecting Drew's health, causing bloating and distension, went out the door. So that was a huge adjustment. And you don't have to do it that extreme. You can do it, a little bit slower if you like. But yeah, so we've had quite a journey. And now we try and eat 80 to 90% plants, and we throw in, some really healthy protein in there, maybe once a day, and some grains as well, but predominantly plants. So I think people are quite confused about what is a healthy diet because there is so much choice now. And too many people aren't eating at home and aren't cooking at home, which I find super sad because that's your connecting time. That's what I found. It used to stress me out, but now so they say you have to love your medicine and your food is your medicine. So this
That's lovely.
Yeah, this cooking at home is so important that we change our mindset and start to love it and enjoy it and see it as our medicine and maybe one of our favorite hobbies even. So to take it that way.
Yeah, that's so important. That's such a valid point.
Yeah, so there's a big price for all this convenience, I think. I don't think it's fair to go back to the old days. I remember my mother was the only one in the kitchen. Now thinking back, I do feel bad for her. We should have helped her more. But in our house, we've come where it's a team thing. You can practice some teamwork and everybody is involved and helps. But in my nutrition course, he did say you should have the most relaxed person in the house do the cooking. So
that is so important. That comes back to that whole intention, and yeah, that is so important.
Yes, on this house it's my husband's. Got to pass that on to him.
Nice one.
Yeah, so he in my health coaching course, he said even go as far as play your favorite music, light a candle, just relax around it. So
wow, that sounds so inviting, Maria. I think that's the important part, that if you share with people, already I'm romancing that whole cooking idea now. So I think I'm going to get more regular into it.
That's great to hear. Good. Yeah, so it's flicking the switch and changing your mindset around. And then, yes, we have to be aware that our taste buds get used to high fat, MSG flavor foods. So we got to get off those. But yeah, you totally can do it. I'm proof you can do it. And yeah, what a lot of people think is healthy might not be. So the way to make that really easy is to just crowd out the bad food with what I call, and it might be too extreme for some, but because we need 90 nutrients a day as a nutritionist, we talk about your minerals, your 60 minerals, your vitamins, your amino acids, your essential fatty acids and all that. So you need quite a variety, especially if you're going to be vegan or vegetarian. So what to crowd out all that bad food, you're going to be so full anyways. You're trying to have, I call it my 5-5-5 diet. And it can be a combination of raw foods, cooked foods, and adding in some cultured foods in there, their benefits for the gut. But yeah, 5 veggies in the morning somehow. So I get my clients on soups for breakfast, which coming from a in America, that's not that common, but very healthy way to go. So
soups for breakfast.
Yeah, veggie soups
nice.
for breakfast. Yeah.
Okay.
And always using, cooking extra veggies at night with dinners. You can have them maybe with an egg in the morning. So you think it's not that hard to do. And even a lot of my clients love a nice salad with like a poached egg on top for breakfast. So I've got ideas for breakfast for you guys. But so we really want to avoid is your breakfast cereals mostly. The refined and processed. Today's wheat is quite a problem. So you want to be looking at more healthier ancient grains and gluten-free options. So, but in my nutrition course, he said that eating today's wheat, because it's so, it's been, genetically modified, with the right intention to help feed the planet, but it comes with a cost. It's very inflammatory to the gut. So Drew just could not cope with it, and neither can I actually. So he said it was like rubbing sandpaper on the inside of your intestine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was feeding Drew Wheat Bix every morning. The kid loved them. All kinds of wheat-filled cereals and wheat toast probably for lunch with, maybe peanut butter on it. So he was totally a very inflammatory food that I thought was healthy back then. So I didn't really, so that's what I mean about, it's a little confusing with foods.
Wow.
So even bread, you've got to make sure you're on the right kind. So it's the ancient grains that you want. And yeah, again, milk was it. So the high allergy foods are wheat, dairy, soy, eggs, and corn. I do the hair test and test for that. But that's the top 5 allergies to humans. So those are healthy foods in most people's category.
Wow.
Sugar you've got to be super careful with. I had a lot of sugar in my diet. Packet foods, I had quick foods, lollies, snacks, hot chips, things like that. So I wasn't eating too healthy, let's put it that way. But I did think I was.
Yes. Wow. I can imagine that. Wow.
Yeah. So one at a time, we cut out the wheat products to start. And you can get, really good quality grains still. So I'm not, totally bashing like organic wheat, ancient grain wheat products, but if you do have digestive problems, they are inflammatory, so know that. So if you can visualize like a refrigerator diet, so we're on mostly plants, and they're mostly going to be, like I said, some raw, some cooked in the forms of soups, and throwing in your cultured foods as well. And then another way is to visualize a blowtorch to the pantry. So we talked about that yesterday too. So all those refined and processed foods, that's where you find a lot of the problematic stuff, lots of salt, lots of bad fats, the bad grains are in there, and they're very acidic and inflammatory. So so they're usually in the pantry, not in the refrigerator. So if you can start to ditch a lot of those, so let's see. Yes, thinking about high water, alkalizing, low glycemic, so low sugar foods is going to be awesome. So I found back then I was super stressed around meals and wanted it to be as quick and easy as possible. So I was using those packets. I don't know if you have like rice packets in India.
Yeah. I used to love eating them when I was in Australia. Oh my God. When they just got launched, I thought that was the best thing ever.
Because it's very tasty, but very quick. So you can make a quick dinner with those, and then you just steam some broccoli and your protein. But once I realized I was feeding them to my family every night. They had all the artificial flavors, numbers, and colors, and MSG in there. So we really had to start those.
Wow.
And just start cooking for the family. So and that's if you think about like really slowing down preparing your food as well as really slowing down eating your food. If you think about like that rest and digest stage, that's pretty awesome. That we do have to, a lot of people aren't even chewing their food. So yeah, it's a real problem. So I've got, yeah, another thing is you have to be super organized, which was hard for me at the beginning. So this means, yeah, kind of, one of the tips is meal planning. And a lot of people really get into meal prepping, but how I like to do it is making big pots of soups, or and you have a big pot of soup. Whenever you're hungry, you can go to the fridge and have a soup instead of an unhealthy snack. Have more soup. You can eat lots and lots of food. You're not going to gain weight because it is mostly plants and vegetables. So yes, so soups like zucchini fritters, things like that you can make lots of. So I guess it really is actually not as time consuming, because it's just at one point, like to make a 10-liter pot of soup takes quite a while at that time, but then you have it for the whole week to eat. So a family of 5. So, and rolling over dinner into breakfast, like we talked about a little bit. Yeah, so always making extra veggies so that you can in the morning add it with eggs. Just making sure you have your healthy staples always, like dried canned beans that are really high in fiber and iron, and nuts and seeds and their butters, and knowing about activating nuts. Have you ever done that for me? Do you activate your nuts over there?
Yeah, we soak almonds overnight, stuff like that.
Yeah, beautiful. And then turn them into nut butters.
Yes.
Yeah. So like a really healthy breakfast is for us is green apple with some almond paste, and that's it. Beautiful breakfast. Yeah. Some like rolled oats, not the oats in the little packet. And also too, it's thinking, I guess, healthy cooking at home is thinking about things like microwaves. Are a good idea because they kill all the enzymes in your food and they radiate the food. So going back to being quite happy to heat something up gently on the stove when you're warming it up. So,
yeah, we're just looking for the easiest, but you're right. The cost of making things easy will negate everything else, because in the end, you'll be licking your wounds. That kind of process, right?
Anything that was going to hurt wasn't going to happen in our house at that stage. Like we had our back against the wall. He was really quite sick. So the microwave went out of the house and it's never returned.
Wow.
As soon as the coach that I was working with was like, not heating his food in the microwave. Well, obviously that on flows to the rest of us. So yeah, so we just, we gifted that a local sports club. Yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do, but yeah, in my opinion, microwaves are part of home cooking. They're hugely integrated to everybody's homes. I've noticed, the kids' friends over the years come in, they're like, where's your microwave? I'm just so used to not having it though. That's another convenience problem, yeah. So, but packet oats, probably not a good idea. Go for your really biodynamic oats and cook them in water and add like chopped apple to flavor, or some frozen blueberries so you don't need your sugars products, or a little bit of maple syrup or raw honey, because that has its minerals with it. So we're really after really high nutrient, low calorie, flavorful foods. And so the oats, you can also put like cinnamon and nutmeg, and it's almost like a yummy apple pie. And if you add enough water, you don't actually need to add dairy, because, although raw dairy from an organic cow is quite healthy, the way that milk is heat treated and stuff, most people, 80% of people are allergic to dairy. They just don't realize it.
Wow.
Yeah, so what else for breakfast? What do you have for breakfast?
I eat like an Indian breakfast.
Beautiful. So you're more on whole foods for breakfast rather than a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, but a bowl of cereal, I would have more like an oats-based cereal,
Yeah. So
and
like a
then
healthy, yeah.
yeah, like a healthier version and homemade because I have the liberty of having a cook here. So
Oh, very
yeah,
nice.
we have Indian breakfast like poha and upma. I don't know the English translations, but they are form of oat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
before
right.
but before
That's the way to
breakfast, I
go.
have a full ritual of my green tea and my super greens and my raisins soaked overnight, almonds soaked overnight. So breakfast for me actually is all of that. And sometimes I just skip breakfast and go straight to lunch.
Yeah. So you just
So
have a fast.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that too. Yeah, so green smoothies are another good way to go because that's easy to get the 5 veggies. So like
Mm.
a an avocado, an apple, a cucumber. So we really lay off the fruit in our smoothies. Just
Mm.
there's rules, some rules like you don't have to pay attention to them all the time, but like the food combining rules that you should
Mm.
eat. Yeah,
Yes.
eat fruit in isolation. Don't and eat fruit. Don't juice fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
too much of a sugar hit. So I've got an ebook that people can access green smoothies for gut health.
Oh, we would
Um,
love that. If you can share that link with us after
yeah,
we're
of
done.
course.
Yeah.
So it's all smoothies, and the way we flavor those is with lemon and green apple, because green apple is the one food that you can eat that with steak. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
So that can be in your smoothies. Yeah, and they're really yummy. But our smoothies don't add fruit, except
Mm.
for the green apple. So yeah, green smoothies, you can make big batches of those, and they last for 2 days in the fridge. You just reblend them. So I think it's about making, large amounts of stuff when you are in the kitchen. And that's just your segment of your cooked food. And then you're also adding, if you're reheating soup, you're adding some zest to that with raw garlic, some raw fresh herbs, so parsley, dill would be beautiful, because you do have to bring in a large amount of that
Wow.
raw food for your enzymes and to reflavor it and make it different, so you're not getting bored.